Through Quranic insight we gain wisdom's light. Through Quranic insight we gain wisdom's light. Illuminating our path to what is right. Illuminating our path to what is right.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen wassalatu wassalamu ala sayyidil anbiya'i wal mursaleen. Amma ba'd, fa'udhu billahi minash shaytanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. As-salatu wassalamu alayka ya Rasulallah wa ala alika wa ashabika ya Habiballah. As-salatu wassalamu alayka ya Nabiyallah وعلى آلِكَ وأصحابك يا نور الله. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the program of Madani Channel, Quranic Insight. In the previous episode, we briefly presented the overview of a new chapter, Surah Al-Ma'idah. We discussed a selected topic from this chapter, fulfill your promises, and explored Allah Almighty's commands and the teachings of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We highlighted the definition of a promise and the importance of fulfilling it. We also mentioned the exemplary practices of our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his blessed companions alayhim ridwan. Furthermore, we discussed the condemnation of breaking promises and the consequences of such actions. In today's episode, we will discuss a new topic selected from Surah Al-Ma'idah. Do justice. We will explore the definition of justice, its emphasis in the Quran and Hadith, the virtues of justice, the exemplary practice of our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his companions, and various aspects of justice. Additionally, we will also highlight the warnings against injustice. So let's begin our episode with the blessings of sending durood upon the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Adorn your gatherings by reciting durood upon me, for your recitation of durood will be a light for you on Judgment Day." Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ala Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Dear viewers, justice and fairness in society mean giving everyone their due rights according to their entitlement, regardless of color, race, ethnicity, region, language, or social status. Islam places great emphasis on justice and fairness. It is a quality that uplifts nations and societies. Deprivation of this invaluable virtue leads to decline and destruction. That is why the Quran highly emphasizes the establishment of justice and fairness, commanding us to establish justice and fairness. Allah Almighty proclaims in Surah Al-Ma'idah, "I'dilu huwa aqrabu lit-taqwa." Translation from Kanzul Irfan, "Be just. This is nearer to righteousness." As Muslims, it is incumbent upon us to fully adhere to the commands of Allah Almighty and the teachings of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We must uphold justice and fairness in our society according to their guidance. Dear viewers, for the stability of any society, the establishment of a system of justice is crucial. A society where justice prevails enjoys peace and tranquility, whereas in a society plagued by injustice and absence of fairness, unrest, chaos, and corruption reach their peak. Societies comprise individuals with diverse thoughts and beliefs. It is therefore imperative for all these individuals to adopt justice and fairness as the foundation of the social system. Allah Almighty has emphasized justice multiple times in the Quran and has commanded people to decide matters with fairness among themselves. Allah Almighty proclaims in Surah Al-Ma'idah verse number 42, وَإِنْ حَكَمْتَ فَحْكُمْ بَيْنَهُمْ بِالْقِسْطِ Inna Allah yuhibbul muqsitin. Translation from Kanzul Irfan, and if you pass judgment then judge between them with justice. Allah loves those who are just. Justice and fairness are the skills by which humanity thrives. A society devoid of justice cannot be a righteous society. Instead, it becomes a center of oppression, tyranny, and fear. By studying the Quran, we learn that personal interests, emotional desires, familial ties, or affection for loved ones should not prevent us from the path of justice and fairness. Rather, we should always prioritize justice and fairness. Allah Almighty proclaims, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu kunu qawwamina bil qisti shuhada'a lillahi walau ala anfusikum awil walidaini wal aqrabin. Translation from Kanzul Irfan, O you who believe, be steadfast upon justice as you testify for Allah, even if it is against yourselves, your parents, or close relatives. Dear viewers, where our love, companionship, kinship, and relationships should not lead us away from the path of fairness, similarly, we should not adopt the path of injustice due to enmity, bias, or jealousy. Allah Almighty proclaims in Surah Al-Ma'idah, وَلَا يَجْرِمَنَّكُمْ شَنَآنُ قَوْمٍ عَلَىٰ أَلَّا تَعْدِلُوا. Translation from Kanzul Irfan, and the enmity of a nation should not incite you to be unjust. The beloved Prophet ﷺ also emphasized justice and fairness in his blessed ahadith. He clearly stated that if someone practices justice, he will benefit from it. And if someone commits injustice, he will suffer the consequences. The Holy Prophet ﷺ said, whoever establishes justice, he will benefit from it. And whoever commits injustice, he will suffer the consequences. Dear viewers, in the Holy Quran and the blessed Hadith where justice and fairness are emphasized, the virtues of those who practice justice are also highlighted. Allah Almighty has designated those who uphold justice as His beloved. Regarding those who practice justice and fairness, Allah Almighty proclaims in Surah Al-Ma'idah, Inna Allah yuhibbul muqsitin. Translation from Kanzul Irfan, Allah loves those who are just. The Holy Prophet ﷺ said, undoubtedly, those who uphold justice and fairness will be on illuminated pulpits of light in the court of Allah Almighty. They are the ones who practice justice in their decisions, their families, and in all their affairs for which they are responsible. In the blessed Hadith, there is good news for those who make decisions among people with justice. They will be on pulpits of light on Judgment Day, which will be a source of honor for them. Similarly, among those who will find the shade of the Arsh on Judgment Day, one will be a just ruler as well. Dear viewers, our beloved Prophet Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam emphasized justice throughout his life and did not allow any recommendation to obstruct the path of justice. The extent of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam's unparalleled justice is best illuminated by a narration in Sahih Bukhari, which stands as a testament to his fairness. A woman from the Banu Makhzum clan committed theft. The Quraysh tribe was deeply worried about this incident, fearing that if their woman were punished, it would leave a permanent stain on their noble family reputation and bring shame upon them in the eyes of all Arabs. Therefore, they decided to present a strong recommendation to the Holy Prophet ﷺ to avoid punishing the woman. They persuaded Sayyidina Usama bin Zayd radiallahu anhu, who was greatly beloved by the Holy Prophet ﷺ, to intercede on their behalf. When Sayyidina Usama radiallahu anhu spoke to the Holy Prophet ﷺ about the matter, the color of the Holy Prophet ﷺ's face changed, and he said sternly, O Usama, do you intercede against one of the punishments prescribed by Allah Almighty? Then the Holy Prophet ﷺ stood up and delivered a sermon in which he said, O people, The people before you were led astray, because if a noble person among them stole, they would let him go. But if a weak person stole, they would punish him. I swear by Allah, even if Fatima bint Muhammad were to steal, I would cut off her hand. Allahu Akbar. This blessed hadith illustrates that in the Islamic system of justice, there is no room for favoritism. If true justice is established in society, it can effectively eliminate crimes. Justice should be prioritized in every aspect of life, without any distinction between the rich and poor, high and low, employer and employee, or ruler and subject. The Holy Prophet ﷺ set the best examples of equality through his words and actions, and taught his followers to do the same. We can see complete adherence to his teachings in the blessed lives of the holy companions alayhimu ridwan. For example, once there was a disagreement between Sayyidina Umar Farooq al-Azam radiyallahu anhu and Sayyidina Ubay bin Ka'b radiyallahu anhu. They decided that Sayyidina Zaid bin Sabit radiyallahu anhu would resolve their matter. They went to Sayyidina Zaid bin Sabit radiyallahu anhu's house for a decision. Sayyidina Umar radiyallahu anhu said to him, "We have come to you so that you may decide our case." Sayyidina Zaid radiyallahu anhu made space in the middle of his bed and said, "O Amirul Mu'mineen, please sit here." Sayyidina Umar radiyallahu anhu replied, "I will sit with my opponent." Saying this, Sayyidina Umar radiyallahu anhu sat with Sayyidina Ubay bin Ka'b before Sayyidina Zaid. The proceedings began. Sayyidina Ubay bin Ka'b radiyallahu anhu made his claim, and Sayyidina Umar radiyallahu anhu denied it. Since Sayyidina Ubay bin Ka'b radiyallahu anhu could not present witnesses to support his claim, according to the principles of Sharia, Sayyidina Umar radiyallahu anhu had to swear an oath. Sayyidina Zaid bin Sabit radiyallahu anhu, considering Sayyidina Umar radiyallahu anhu's status and rank, said to Sayyidina Ubay bin Ka'b radiyallahu anhu, "You should overlook taking an oath from Amir al-Mu'mineen." Sayyidina Umar radiyallahu anhu immediately swore the oath and said, "Zaid is not fit for the position of a judge until Umar and an ordinary person are equal in his eyes concerning the case." Allahu Akbar. Dear viewers, the standard of justice and fairness given by Islam is unparalleled in the world. In reality, justice and fairness are qualities that provide stability and guarantee the survival of any society. In Islam, justice encompasses all aspects of individual and collective human life. Islam commands us as parents to practice justice and fairness among our children. Ensuring justice among children is one of the most important responsibilities of parents. Islam mandates justice in all circumstances. Oppression is intolerable in any form, as it only leads to destruction and ruin. Therefore, parents are also commanded to always maintain justice among their children. When giving gifts, give to all. When showing love, show it to all. Ensure fairness in their education, upbringing, attention, and supervision. The Holy Prophet ﷺ said, "Be just among your children. Maintain equality in fulfilling the rights of your sons." Justice and fairness among children regarding expenses and education are as important as the command to treat parents with kindness and respect. Islam considers kindness to be reciprocated with kindness. Parents should be kind to their children so that the children will be kind to them in return. Justice and injustice among children have significant impacts. Justice strengthens relationships between siblings, boosts self-confidence, and increases respect for parents. It fosters love and gentleness towards parents. On the contrary, unjust behavior can lead to jealousy, prejudice, and feelings of inferiority among children. It breeds hatred and enmity. The child who is treated unfairly may develop a sense of inferiority. Therefore, parents should always practice justice and fairness among their children to protect them from these negative effects. Dear viewers, Islam also guides us towards religious justice. It means adhering to the commands of Allah Almighty and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam and avoiding what they have prohibited. The foremost right is that of Allah Almighty, which means practicing justice with Him by not associating anyone with Him in worship and attributes. We should always be grateful to Him and avoid ingratitude. When verse number 82 of Surah Al-An'am, translation from Kanzul Irfan, those who believe and do not enshroud polytheism with faith, then for those very people there is protection and they are rightly guided. When this verse was revealed, the blessed companions alayhimu ridwan became very concerned, and they asked the Messenger of Allah, who among us does not commit injustice upon himself? The Holy Prophet ﷺ replied, this does not mean that. Rather, it means shirk, associating partners with Allah. Have you not heard what Sayyidina Luqman radiallahu anhu advised to his son, saying, O my son, do not associate anyone with Allah Almighty. Indeed, associating partners with Allah is a great injustice. Dear viewers, similarly, Islam has also instructed us about social justice. This means that justice and fairness should be provided to every sector, every class, and every individual in society. Discrimination based on color, race, region, language, or ethnicity should not be tolerated. Similarly, financial justice should also be considered. This means that expenditures should not be made extravagantly or stingily, but moderation should be adopted. Dear viewers, where Islam emphasizes justice and its virtues, it also warns against injustice. Allah Almighty in Surah Al-Ma'idah has condemned those who make unjust decisions and declared them oppressors. Allah Almighty proclaims, وَمَنْ لَمْ يَحْكُمْ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الظَّالِمُونَ. Translation from Kanzul Irfan, and whosoever does not judge according to that which Allah revealed, then those very people are oppressors. Those who do not practice justice and make unjust decisions in any matter can have various reasons for their unjust decisions. Such reasons may include making decisions without proper investigation, seeking unjust revenge, prioritizing personal gains, being unaware of Islamic teachings regarding judgments, being motivated by greed, being fearless of Allah Almighty and the consequences of their actions, forgetting about Judgment Day, and so on. Doing injustice in decisions is an action that leads to hell. Hence the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, judges are of three types. One is from paradise and two are from hell. The one from paradise is the one who recognizes the truth and judges according to it. The judge who knows the truth but acts unjustly in his judgment is hellbound. Similarly, the judge who makes decisions based on ignorance without investigating the truth and falsehood among people is also hellbound. Dear viewers, every person is a judge in his own capacity and position. For example, rulers for their subjects, employers for their employees, parents for their children, and teachers for their students. Therefore, everyone should strive to uphold justice and fairness according to their rule and should avoid injustice. The beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, on Judgment Day, the most beloved and closest person with respect to the assembly in the court of Allah Almighty will be the just ruler, and the most disliked and farthest person with respect to the assembly will be the unjust ruler. Those who commit injustice will be cast into the lower depths of hell. The Holy Prophet ﷺ said, whoever assumes responsibility for people's affairs will be made to stand on the bridge over hell by Allah Almighty. The bridge will tremble under his burden. Then he will either attain salvation or not. If not, his every bone will separate from the other. If he does not attain salvation, he will be taken to the dark trenches of hell, resembling a grave, and he will reach its bottom in 70 years. Allahu Akbar. Dear viewers, when justice is ensured for every individual in society, peace and prosperity prevail. Therefore, we should never give up the principles of justice and fairness under any circumstances. The importance of justice can be gauged from the fact that in the authentic hadith, one day of justice is deemed better than 60 years of worship. Therefore, if we want abundant rewards and wish to deserve the virtues outlined in the Quran and hadith for the just person, we must prioritize justice and uphold it firmly in every matter. May Allah Almighty enable us to follow the path of justice in every place and matter and safeguard us from injustice. Ameen Ya Rabbal Alameen. Dear viewers, in today's episode, we discussed a new topic selected from Surah Al-Ma'idah, do justice. We explored the definition of justice, the emphasis placed on it in the Quran and Hadith, its virtues and the practices of our beloved Prophet ﷺ. We also covered various aspects of justice and concluded by highlighting the consequences of injustice. May Allah Almighty accept our endeavors. Inshallah, we'll be back in the next episode with a new topic. Keep watching Madani Channel. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ala Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam.
Through Quranic insight we gain wisdom's light. Through Quranic insight we gain wisdom's light. Illuminating our path to what is right. Illuminating our path to what is right.